Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, with crazy hair. I mean, what are we doing, chat? I guess it doesn't look, it looks weird. It looks crazy. Yesterday was a good day overall. If you would have played every single wager that I suggested, you would be up 1.6 units. Shonawell, Lowe, Otani, Hoskins, France, Perez, Maniac, and McGuire all hit. I mean, you got some good numbers out here. 7, 8, 1,000 to 1, 700, 950. Not every day is like that, we know, but it feels good to be seeing some of these correctly as we get back into giving out more official plays and things of that nature. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the conclusions that I came to. And really, it can be summarized with this. For 3 years, I was making a living sports betting. I was teaching at the time also, but I was making more money sports betting than I was teaching. Because my accounts were not limited, because I was able to arbitrage, because I was able to play very lucrative promos that have since disappeared, and my accounts have been limited. So I still have this mindset that I can bet professionally, and I had to look at myself over these last 2 weeks and say, you were able to make money because you had accounts, you had limits, there were good promos, and you were betting arbitrage. You were betting guaranteed money. Sports betting for 90% of the population should be recreational. It should be entertainment. And I think I went into this challenge expecting it to be more of a money maker rather than an entertainer. And over these 2 weeks, I just said, you know what? I've been betting too much is the bottom line. I've been trying to do this to make money. And I don't think that's good for me, but I also don't think it's good for the community. I think most of you out there would be better off, and a lot of you probably know this, to do this strictly for fun and entertainment. It's the cost of entertainment. You want to go to a movie for $15? Go to a movie for $15. Me, I want to watch some MLB games and sweat some home runs for $15 and have a chance to make some money, but understand that I may not. And then when I go to bed at night, I need to be able to put my head down on the pillow and say, we had fun. Not, gosh, I'm upset that they didn't hit. I should have, bet less or what have you. So as we move forward, and I wish this was kind of at the All-Star break. We're a little early, but as we move forward, understand that we are not going to forget the 7 units we're down. We're still going to own that, wear it like a scarlet letter, but we're going to keep a new record in quote unquote for the changes. So that's what I want to tell you. We'll still do everything normal, but we're going to keep, and you'll see on the official plays page, we're going to keep a separate tally. We are down 7 units. We are almost over 3 for the green. That's good. We want to get over 3 there. We want to stay in low 2s there. We want to stay under 2 here. So far, like our Park Plus rating is great, and our official plays still are up 4 units. Our leans are down 10.7. I've added some new things. Look at this, chat. I told you there'd be an update. There's an update. So we'll keep the pitching matchup the same. This is how each team should match up against the opposing pitcher. I'm also going to rate the weather and the park, because I'm finding it that there are times where the weather or park is good, but the pitching's not, and then I'm struggling with the overall and things of that nature. I just think we needed another column for weather, park, conditions. Also, I'm realizing that in a lot of videos, I tell you to target certain teams over here in the notes. Yesterday somebody said, why didn't you like Riley Green? Well, I did. I said target Detroit left-handed batters, but, I realize that those things are not clear. So 2 additions, weather park column, which is funny that it's all yellow. It's a very midday. And then we have a target column that shows you maybe where to look within teams. So we'll start with the game in Baltimore. It is not the best matchup for Texas, I don't believe. If I had to play any Texas guys, it'd be right-handers. I think right-handers in both instances are the plays today. Josh Young has been a little bit on a cold streak. So if you're one that likes to avoid players who are cold, don't play him at all. Marcus Semien 650, Ramon Laureano at 550, and Jordan Westbrook at 480. I would likely stay away from this game. I will warn you, there's one official play from this game, but I think the pitching may dominate in such that we get 2 home runs. And I typically like lefties for Baltimore, and Corbin's pitching, so I'm just a little nervous there. Game in New York. I don't see any value on Atlanta bats. If I had to pick anybody, it'd be right-handed batters, but I think they could hit some, but the value for Riley, and who else did I look at? I looked at Austin Riley and Acuna, not great. Marcelo Zuna, though, it was borderline. So there's a little nugget if you want that. For the Mets, left-handed batters, for sure. I like Brent Batty at 9-1. I like Jeff McNeil at 960. Soto, Lindor, and Jared Young, Brandon Nimmo are all in play here. I just think that these two guys pose the best value in their matchup against Swellenbach. Game in Cincinnati is something that I want to love because it is at Great American, but I can't fully endorse it. I look at this new pitcher that's making his first start for New York. He's hard to read, not a big sample size, even in the minors. I think lefties are where you need to target based on his limited data. TJ Friedel, Jake Fraley on Profit X. For Nick Lodolo, who is pitching for Cincinnati, I think right-handed batters are your targets. Aaron Judge was far too low. I think he's like plus 118. Plus 118. DJ LeMahieu at 11-1 I don't think is bad, and Paul Goldschmidt, who has a good history against Lodolo, is fine. Anthony Volpe, if you want, you can look there as well. Game in Chicago, the Wind says play right-handed batters. Shane Smith, who's pitching for Chicago, has been stellar. Probably ignored just because he plays for the White Sox, but if you look at his logs, if you look at his stuff, it's been pretty good. And with the Diamondbacks coming in from Colorado after their game yesterday, their loss yesterday, their lineup got shifted around with Corbin Carroll being hurt. Marte didn't even start. Just kind of weird vibes. And, even though they have a soft opponent, I think they're facing the best pitcher for this soft opponent. So I'm out on anything Arizona. I don't think it sets up well for them. For Chicago, right-handed batters against Rodriguez, especially with how the wind is blowing. That's why it's green. It not only is a good pitching matchup, but the weather for them, the setting for them is good. Luis Robert, Michael Taylor, if you want to go Miguel Fargas, those would be fine. Game in Milwaukee, again, Paxton, I want to say his last name is for the Pirates. I've forgotten. It's Braxton something. Braxton Paxton? That's not it. But the data is lacking for him as well. This is a game with two teams that I don't love picking homers for just because they don't have top to bottom guys who can hit, and a lot of teams have that now in the majors. Andrew McCutchen, I think, matches up well against Chad Patrick, but not a lot of other batters in this lineup match up well against Chad Patrick. So, and this price is a little lower than I would want. I'd want it closer to 600 if I'm being completely honest, but we'll put it in as a lean. And then for the Brewers, Christian Yelich at 580 I think is solid. And Bryce Turang, who hit one yesterday in Minnesota, very hard park to hit. Turang's not a power guy, and he got one out. So I like that. Like, if there was any play that I was close to saying, let's do it on an official play, it was Turang. To be completely honest, I think that 13-1 is very tempting. I think he should be closer to 850, 900. So it's not. I'm not doing it officially. I'm not playing it officially, but I'm just letting you know it was tempting to me. Short slate today. So this is the last bit of it. Minnesota hosts Seattle today. I think any Seattle bat is technically in play. Like I don't favor lefties or righties against Obear, but I don't think anybody has value. So what do I mean by that? I mean, Seattle could very well hit some home runs today, both lefties and righties. However, their prices don't feel fair. They feel too juiced. They feel too low. So I'm not going to force anything there. For Brian Wu, who's pitching for Seattle, lefties tend to have a lot of success against him, especially this season. Trevor Larnach at 6-1, Brooksley at 720. Game in St. Louis is like a mid-off. It's just like average. It's just meh. I think the matchups are fine, but the value is not there, especially for this park. I think both lefties and righties can hit Ben Brown. I've given you one of each, Brendan Donovan and Nolan Arenado, both at prices that I'm fine to endorse. But for Chicago, especially with the conditions and the wind, I think you have to play righties. Liberatore has been most vulnerable to right-handed batters, which kind of eliminates, Pete Crow Armstrong, Michael Busch, Kyle Tucker, guys we typically like to say. But again, with the wind blowing to left field and the pitching matchup, I think you got to go righties here, Dansby Swanson and Seiya Suzuki. The Angels game, again, not a ton of value when I look across the board. You could get either sort of pitching out here today. I look at these numbers and I say, it's just a little low. If they were 50 to 100 more, I'd be a little more excited. just seems average today. Boston, you want to go with left-handed batters. A lot of their left-handed batters are injured or traded to the San Francisco Giants. Abraham Toro, Ramon Anthony are my leans for that side. For the Angels against Walker Buehler, he doesn't really have a weakness in terms of left or right-handed batters. Pretty even across the board. Joe Adell looks like he should set up well against Walker Buehler. Logan O'Hoppe hit 1 or 2 yesterday. At those numbers, though, I don't love it. I don't love it. If you are fine with it, go for it. And the last game of the night is a game in San Diego. I think San Diego struggles in this one. If I had to force somebody, it would be Machado or Tatis. But against Mitchell Parker, who has been overall solid this year, San Diego, I'm not confident in what their lineup possesses, so we're going to fade that. Stephen Kolek is pitching for the Padres, and a righty who has either had it or not. It's kind of night and day. 5 homers allowed, 3 in one game, 2 in another, 0 in the rest. I think this lineup could get to him, and I've said it before. You guys know I love the lefties for Washington. Overall, I don't think it's a great home run spot, but I do think Abrams, Lowe have value, especially, Lowe's on a 2-game hit, 3 homers in 2 games. Why don't we just ride the hot hand, right? 830 is pretty good. Josh Bell, James Wood, Luis Garcia, Washington money line. I'm kind of all in on Washington today. I think they have some value and their lefties have some value. Okay, are you guys ready? You guys ready for this? This is kind of the moment we've been waiting for, all right? And I'm gonna remove my face so you can see it all. That was a joke. Let me remove my face now so you can see it all. Okay, there it is, baby. We're here. Now, I will tell you, you can see up here, straights, round robin, promos. This is supposed to be dog of the day, money line play of the day. I ran out of, let me put this back down. I ran out of ChatGPT image generations this morning. It said you got to pay $20 a month to be able to generate more images, or you can wait 12 hours. So we're going to wait 12 hours. Tomorrow I'll have this titled correctly. So I apologize. And so this is how we're going to do it from now on. And we'll put our track record down here after today. We're going to have a spot for straights. I'm not going to set a limit on myself on how many I am going to play or not. I'm going to play as many straights as I see value in. Then we're going to allow ourselves to do a round robin. I think round robins are highly enjoyable. I think I have a lot of fun doing them, and they give us a chance to win big for a little amount of money. Now, in the past, I have been over betting. Let me put the camera on. Let me give you some accountability here. In the past, I have been over betting round robins. I've been spending too much money on the round robins, and I recognize that. So when I do round robins, they're going to be for little units, small units, as parlays should be. Then for the dog of the day, I am going to take an official play. It's going to be on the Washington Nationals, plus 154 on Novik for 0.1 units. And then the only promo that I am going to officially play today is on DraftKings. And funny enough, for the rest of June, which I guess is a week, they are doing a no sweat bet every day. The annoying part, of course, as you guys know, is my limits. I'm going to take Ramon Laureano at 550. Hopefully that number does not move. If it moves, I will account for it. I can only get $2.50 on it right now. As it gets closer to game time, that limit will go up. So that's what I'm going to suggest right now. If this drops astronomically, I don't know what I'm going to do because, in theory, if it drops to 400, I don't want to play him. I'll play somebody else. We'll work with it. I'll do what I need to do. I'll be honest, but this is it. Okay. This is how we're rocking from now on. These are the official plays. We'll track it. We'll keep it going. So again, I just want to let you guys know that we will still do this every day, and I'm going to still kind of get you guys in a headspace of where to look, where to target guys I'm looking at. I'm still going to keep track of this right here. Okay, I'm still going to keep track of leans and official. If I play any official, it'll tick here. If all of these are leans, so all of these we're going to see how I do well overall. But understand, I'm not playing those. This number is going to freeze. It's going to be stagnant. We're going to be like this. This number is going to stay at negative 7.73. We're going to start a new official tracking. And so if I lose 2 on the official tracking, like in 2 weeks, like if we're in the middle of July and on these new official plays, I'm down 2 units. We are down 9 units on the year. Like, I'm not running from this. Please hear me clearly. I will post this on the official plays page every day if I need to. Okay, I'm not running from it. So again, guys, thank you. I love you all very much. I appreciate your guys' support. Let me know. I hope you like this new look. I think it looks sweet. I love it. I darn near love it. And after all, that's what matters, right? It's all about me, right? Tyrese Halliburton, man, feel for him. Have a good night, day, huh? Love you. Bye.